Good evening, everyone. And listen, welcome to a special, and I mean special edition to Transplant Talk with Nishanda. I am your hostess with the mostest. And today, on today, I have a returning, a repeat guest. They are the Brisbys. As a matter of fact, Dee and Tyrone Brisby were the first guest I interviewed live before COVID-19 really spread it across the world. So we were able to sit down. We have we've been advocating for organ donations together. So we've been out, paving the concrete together, trying to make sure that everyone understands how very important it is to become an organ donor. And just to remind you, if you are here in Florida, until I'm able to get statewide, not just statewide, but countrywide, that is my goal, definitely for 2021, so that anyone that goes to, I'm going to make sure I put it up here, anyone that goes to donate life or registerme.com can become an organ donor, and my 1,000, or my Save 1,000 lives can keep climbing and climbing and climbing. And so, of course, that's my goal, just to make sure that we educate and we bring awareness, especially in a multicultural community. And we definitely want to try to keep you informed. But tonight is a little different. When you all first met them, we talked about Tyrone. And Tyrone is approaching his 6-year mark of his heart anniversary. All right. So when people get hearts and they get a new birthday and it becomes a heart anniversary or a kidney anniversary or a bad anniversary, just so that you all know those kind of terms. Now, Dee has always been Tyrone's caregiver, his rock. All right. And I'm saying that because, yes, us wives ought to always be appreciated and celebrated and never tolerated, because what we do as women and as caregivers for our loved ones can never be replaced. As a matter of fact, it could never be duplicated, the things that we do for our loved ones. So if you are a mom, shout out to all the moms and caregivers out there, because it really does go unnoticed. And so let me tell you right now, any caregiver, male or female, child, because that's always it's always tough to have to take care, your parent as well. God bless you. Thank you for all that you do. All right. Let me put my church voice on. We will not be before you long. Okay. I just had the opportunity to be able to get Dee on here. She sent me a video of her. Now, last time I seen her was like February, and months have gone by, like with COVID, and I'm noticing, where's Dee and Tyrone? Dee posts all the time what's going on at home with the grandchildren, with the children. They had a grandson to become an organ donor. And I was just saying, I haven't seen her, give her a talk. Little did I know, Dee had her own journey that was happening. So I want you all to hear this special. I mean, it's special because, one, I've never even heard of this disease before. So I'm going to bring the Brisbys on, and this time the spotlight and sunshine is on Miss Dee Brisby. Okay, Tyrone, you just sit to the side and just come on. All right. So everybody, please welcome the Brisbys back to the show again. Let me make sure I unmute their mic. Hello, Brisby.
Hello, Nishanda.
Pleasure to be back.
I really do appreciate you all. And guys, if you all would please like and share. Don't be stingy. All right. Like and share this broadcast. Now, I just want to make sure that, one, I bring this up, and I want everyone, please make sure that you visit our YouTube channel. And if you could go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then we just want to make sure that everyone understands what we're trying to do with bringing this awareness now. With Miss Brisby, Mrs. Brisby, excuse me, with Mrs. Brisby, it is such a unique case. We know that right now right here across America, we have over 113,000 people waiting, for the gift of life. And we keep trying to fight that every day to stop the stigma of why people won't become organ donors, right? And so just to show you and just recap, Tyrone actually received his heart from a 14-year-old Caucasian boy, all right, 14-year-old teenager. He received his heart from. And so their family stays in close connections with each other. They have a bond with each other. Tyrone, can you give us a little snippet of that just one more time, please?
Yes. Roughly 6.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, and my only hope for life would be the gift of life, meaning that I would need a transplant. At this point, I think in my life, I think I was 51 years of age at the time. And it was kind of glim at the point when a physician tell you that you actually need a transplant in order to extend your life. At this point, I didn't know a lot about transplant. I didn't know there was a shortage and a great need for it. But once you travel that journey, you actually learn and educate yourself a lot on the intel about what you need and what's available out there. And going through that journey, I end up with Kyle Roger Hart, a 14-year-old young man that was at the time living in Tennessee. And I was here in Jacksonville. And I received a call roughly 5.5 weeks after ending up on the transplant list. And as you stated earlier, it's been about 6.5 years working on the 7th year, I think, trying to beat that number,
Yeah.
Time slot.
What a wonderful story again, to be able to receive the gift of life from someone that actually said yes. I remember you telling me he told his parents. Well, I guess you will say it better. Can you tell us what he told his parents when he became an organ donor?
Yes. Basically, Kyle was an extraordinary young man, and he actually had a conversation with his parents 3 months prior to a tragic car accident he was involved in. And his question to his parents was, had they ever considered being organ donors? At that time, both Tina and Jeff, his Kyle parents, they both said no. They really hadn't ever given it any real thought. Kyle's response to that was, if anything ever happened to him, he would like to be an organ donor. And 3 months after that conversation, that's when it came to pass that he was involved in an accident, and they honored Kyle's wishes. By them saying yes to Kyle's wishes is the reason I sit before you today, because if he had never had that conversation with his parents, I don't know if I would be here today. It was almost as though the young man had an epiphany. He knew something that was coming.
Such insight at a very young age, and we are thankful for Donate Life and Life Quest for pioneering and getting that information out. I just thank you all for being able to always being so candid and transparent with your story. So I thank you. And once again, guys, if you always share, do a watch party. Let's just get this out so that everybody is able to hear. Now our featured guest today is Miss D. I always call her Miss D. And when I received her video, I was blown away. I was like, wait a minute, what? Wait, what happened? I had to watch it, and I had to watch it multiple times because I could not believe it. And then I had to look up exactly what she experienced. And before, again, the tables was D was his caregiver, and she did everything for her like a good wife does. And now the tables had to turn, the tables had to be switched, and Tyrone had to become the caregiver, so he had to see his wife in in the hospital. And and just for everyone, this is actually called, and listen, I had to make sure I wrote down the syllable for the correct enunciation, and it's called neuromyelitis optical. Okay, so if you all have never heard of it before, and I definitely had never heard of it before, so I wanted to just put this up here. So it's also called NMO. Is a disease that affects your eyes and spinal cord. It's also known as a Devic disease. Devic, I want to say. It is not very common. I want you all to see that. Only about 4,000 people in the United States have it. And she is on my show. One of those 4,000 people. So when I tell you all, I love to do things differently. I don't always have to do it the same way. Why? Because it's my show. So I can dictate what's going to happen and who needs to be on here. But Ms. D, walk us through the beginning of this journey that you took, or you're still on, that you're taking.
I'm still on. Okay. It was just one morning. I woke up and I thought I had fell asleep on my fingers on this the right hand, these three fingers right here, and they was numb and tingling. So I just said, well, I'll watch it or wake up. And so we went over our daughter's house because Tyrone was doing something over at her house. And then I noticed that it never woke up. So I said, hey, something's wrong. So that night, the same thing happened to my left hand. And I started tingling on the little fingers. And I said, hey, something's wrong. Because my hands don't usually feel like this. So the next day, it went up my arms and went down my stomach. I just was having like bad spasms and, like feel like nerve damage, far as, my nerves was like jumping, and then it went down to my feet. And then the third day, I couldn't even walk. Tyrone had to push me. Once I got to the hospital at Memorial Hospital, he had to push me in the wheelchair to my room. And I knew it was something wrong when I couldn't walk anymore. Once I got to the hospital, that was it.
Right, because we know you are very active. Yeah. So to see you not, actively moving, working with the grandkids or what have you, we had to know, something wasn't right at that time. And
you're not the only one asked. Everybody was asking on Facebook, like, I haven't seen you on Facebook. I haven't seen you posting. And then when I posted what was wrong with me, they were like, no wonder. Oh, no. Yeah, right. They said, no wonder I haven't seen you. Oh, no. And they start asking questions.
Yes. I mean, immediately we all become, I won't say nosy, but we all become inquisitive about, about what happened. And also I had to, look to see like if there was a cure, and there is no cure for this. No cure. Right. But I mean, but there are medications and other treatments that can help ease your symptoms, because the other side effect of this is you could become blind.
But I'm not looking forward to that.
Right. Yeah, that is.
I don't believe that's going to happen to me. So
okay.
I'm going to keep taking my medications and doing what the doctors say. And I am a patient at Mayo Clinic now. So both of us go to Mayo Clinic.
Since we're there, speaking of Mayo, I know now you're both taking medications.
Yes.
So how many medications are you taking right now?
At least maybe 20.
Every day?
every day, and I have them. I have it on timers like Tyrone used to have. So mine go off like probably 1 hour, then the next hour, then the next hour. I said, okay, that's my last doses. Then 9:30, I take my last doses. I had to get up 7 o'clock in the morning and take my first doses. Then 8:30, then take the next one, and then it goes from there 12, 1, 2, and then the next one's at 4 and 5, and then it just go on all day.
All over again. So, okay, Tyrone. Now, here's the $100 million question. All right, or you can take 5,000. God bless Alex Trebek. I really miss him on Jeopardy. For 5,000, Tyrone, how does it feel? And I asked you before, are you like Job? You know, do you have the patience of Job? So how was it for you to now switch roles, switch positions with your wife and be her caregiver?
I didn't have as much patience as she had. It was like I was thrown to the wolves. It's where that responsibility. I had to sharpen my skills in cooking, taking care of her in every way it needed to be taken care of. I'm even doing a little hair, and I'm nowhere near that stuff. I'm doing all these type things.
He put my hair in a ponytail. See,
I'm working. It's where, like I mentioned earlier, you really don't understand what a caregiver go through unless you actually put in that position. It's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility, making sure they get the medications, the nourishment, make sure they take care of themselves physically and mentally. It's a lot of responsibility, and it's 24/7. There is no time out.
And I can't drive.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you can't drive. You drive everywhere.
You do all the driving.
All the driving, all the cooking, anything of heavy lifting or something of that nature. Anything that is tedious with the fingers and things, that I have to do that because she still don't have a lot of muscle control over her fingers.
Right, because it attacked your nervous system. The nerve system. Okay, so let's go back to the hospital. When you first got to the hospital, and again, this was back in April or May of this year.
Right.
So that's when COVID was really becoming, a nightmare. Right.
Yes. When I got there, soon as I end up at the hospital, I just became just a quadriplegic, and just couldn't do nothing for myself. It was like I'm numb. I can't. My body is just gone. Just from my shoulders down. I couldn't lift my arm up. I couldn't lift nothing. My feet. I couldn't do nothing for myself. It was like a baby, an infant, and I was like, okay. So, but you asked me a question. What was that question? I got to the hospital, and what happened?
Right. So how long were you in the hospital amongst COVID? Because that's a big fear too.
Oh yeah. I was in the hospital for a month, and when we got to the hospital, they had to test me for COVID, and they tested me and ran that thing all the way up my nose. I'm like, oh, I can't do nothing because I can't move my arms, kick or nothing. I can't. So I had to lay there. Okay. So they so we was wondering what was taking so long with the test results for the COVID. Okay. 3 days later, we like, okay, where's my test? You test me. They said, oh, we lost your test. You got to do it again.
I'm sorry.
Said, what? Yes, they did.
What?
They said they lost my test. I had to take the test again. I said, no, I wasn't looking forward to that because the first time didn't feel good. And I had to lay there again, and they stuck that thing, seemed like deeper this time. And it was what was that called? What they stuck in my nose.
It's just a swab.
A swab.
Okay.
And they stuck it all the way down. So I laid there and I gagged this time. And I couldn't take it. I just gagged. And then they took it, and I said, please don't let them lose this test again. And they didn't this time. So it took 2 days, and it came back negative.
Okay.
Okay. So
Mhm.
Tyrone kept telling them she don't have COVID. This is not what she have. The reason why she's in this situation that she's in.
Mhm.
And he kept telling the doctors, the nurses, the tech, but nobody would come in my room to take care of me. They were scared because they put a sign on my door saying droplings and be careful going in this room. COVID could be in this room. So Tyrone went outside and he took the picture of it. He said, "D, this is what they got on the your outside of your door. This is why the nurses and the techs won't come in. They will pass Tyrone the tray, my food tray, and then close the door. They wouldn't even come in the room. And then all my linen was on the floor. They would kick it in the bathroom. And the trash was filling up. They wouldn't even empty the trash cans because they was afraid."
I
What?
just want to interject for a second. I want to
Yes.
steal your lightning. Primarily, when she first entered the hospital, I'm not going to name the hospital.
Memorial Hospital. Memorial Hospital. Don't y'all go there. Okay, go on.
Okay.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Okay,
All
go
right. Let me fix this up. I can fix it. Okay.
Okay.
When she first entered the hospital, they were very curious on the illness that she was going through. They wasn't sure if it was COVID or what was going on with Dee at the point. So it was there's kind of skeptical in how to approach her because yes, the techs were afraid, and there was a trust issue because I saw the uncertainty and doubt in their mind, so I didn't want to leave her side. So I really didn't trust anyone. So I pretty much stayed there with her the entire time. Yes, the service wasn't as up to par where it should have been, but at that point, as you had mentioned, it was at the height of COVID. Since then, physicians has learned a lot more about COVID and how to treat it. So hopefully now patients are being treated a little more fairly or decent when they go through this process.
Right. Thank you, Tyrone. And so, yeah, I wasn't gonna name the hospital, but y'all know Dee is a little more feisty now.
Yeah, she's very much. Yeah.
Oh, I'm on prednisone.
Yeah.
There you go. It's the medication. It is the medication, and y'all let her be her because this is her journey. So she's a little more spicy.
Oh yeah.
A little more spicy. Because she's always been sweet and been able to, handle everything else, or anything. And hello. I don't know if y'all seen that, Jill, and and yeah, and Jared.
Hey, Jill.
And this is my friend Jared. That's another advocate for organ donation, and thank you all for watching. I know this is not the typical organ donation, but again, I had never heard of neuromyelitis optical before, and again, for it to be so rare, is it like more? I think it's more prevalent in women.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah.
Now, does it say African Americans or Caucasian or Indian, or is it just across the board?
Well, it's a younger group too that they say that has this neuromyelitis. Okay, you want to say something?
I can give us a little insight on neuromyelitis optica and what it is and what it consists of. Primarily, when you come down with this disease, often it comes from a virus. Okay. Okay, you go to, in her case, it was type A flu. She went to get treated for that. She was recovered from that. And then she went about a month and a half later to take the flu shot.
Mm-hmm.
And a month after that is when the symptoms came back. So basically, if you subsided the type A flu, it came back more at this point, as an infection, which kind of like confused the immune system, where it's actually started attacking the good cells.
Mm-hmm.
And primarily this disease normally targets the spinal cord and the optical nerve. Okay, and it can be definitely fatal. So it's a serious and deadly disease if not treated properly and diagnosed properly.
So when you are feeling what Dee was feeling, those sensations and the tingling in the hand, is that like a tell? Is that a sign to be able to.
Primarily, it really resembles a stroke when it first starts, because you normally have the tingling down the right side of the body or the arm, and the primary physician thought it was a stroke. They did
MRI,
and it was clear
in a CAT scan.
In a CAT scan, both clear, so they knew it wasn't a stroke. I mean, the scan of the brain was clear, and only from a MRI when they actually saw the spinal cord and what was going on, and that's been diagnosed. And this is very. She had to have a specific antibody in her body to diagnose it as neuromyelitis optica, and she had that in her blood.
Okay, so Dee, when we spoke earlier, you said that this was lying dormant, possibly in your. It was just waiting there.
Yes, my doctor came in while I was, of course, stressed out on the bed because I couldn't do nothing for myself. And he asked me, have you ever had a virus or any type? And I said, well, I just got over the flu sometime in February. And he said, okay. And I said, then the next month or two, I took the flu shot. He said, okay, that's what it is. You had a virus. And then when you took that flu shot, it woke it up. And it was just inside of you dormant, and it woke it up and started attacking your immune system and your good cells inside you. And then that's how you end up with this. And now you have the neuromyelitis optica. And they were saying that I have transfer myelitis too. If you look that one up, transfer myelitis, neuromyelitis is worse than transfer myelitis. So they saying I have both of them. And I'm saying, wow, that's pretty bad to have both of them.
Right. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
They say
that's a lot.
That's a lot to go through. Right. And right now my hands are tingling and it feels tight. And this is what I have to go through every day. And sometimes I was having spasms in my legs where I had to stop, and it would ball up my feet. And I would have to just stop walking and just stand there until everything, cleared. And then I would start walking again. And I would have like about 20 of those a day.
Ooh.
Like spasms all through my body.
Oh,
and so
Lord.
My doctor, and he gave me a pill that didn't work. So then when I end up at Mayo Clinic, they gave me the right medication. And it went away, other than sometime it'll come like when I'm trying to dress. But I couldn't dress. I couldn't brush my teeth. I couldn't do nothing for myself. Tyrone had to brush my teeth. He had to, my kids, Monique, Sheikah, DeAndre, they came in and helped me. And helped me get out the hospital bed. And, Monique washed my hair when I needed it. She brought this, it looked like a little tube thing. She blew up and she put water in it. And she laid me on the back on the hospital bed and let the hospital bed lean backwards. So the water was spilling off my hair. And everybody would come in and say, oh, it's spa day, huh? in the hospital. Right. And then they all brought me flowers and just spoiled me while I was in the hospital. I missed that.
Y'all get back to spoiling her now. Don't stop the spoiling. Don't start something. Tell them, D, don't start something they can't finish.
Enough.
Tyrone, you've been spoiled for a long time now. Give her to like 2023 now. She got to catch up with you.
Oh yeah, the roles definitely reversed. And one thing I had to do was really educate myself on the disease she was going through. And I did a lot of reading on it. And like you said, this neuromyelitis optica, to give you some sense of what it is, as she said, it felt like she fell asleep on her hand. But the neuromyelitis optica destroys the marrow. I think it's the marrow and that's on the nerve. What that does, correction, I think it's called the myelin. I'm not sure. The myelin on the nerve. What it does, that gives you the sensation of what's soft, hard, hot, cold. The sensitivity in her hands isn't there. No. So primarily she's operating her hands through sight, vision. If she can't see her hands, she really can't tell what's in her hand. So primarily she pick up remote control. She take her hands off of it. She drops it because she don't know it's there because she can't feel it. So that's why she can't drive. She can't drive or anything. The same thing with her legs and things of that nature. It takes years for the myelin to reform around the nerves, train the muscles and nerves, how to respond to the sensitivity of the hands and the body. So that's what she's going through. Yeah.
My God.
I drop my phone at least 20 times a day. I'm surprised.
It's a very serious disease.
Right. And so you also were in Brooks Rehab, and Brooks Rehab did a story on you, a feature on you, and you had occupational therapy and physical therapy. And I know the occupational therapy helps you with, with your motor skills and, with your hands, since you're talking, about that. And then that physical therapy, as far as, your lower extremities, your legs and everything like that. So grateful for them to be coming to you. And will this be ongoing with Brooks Rehab, or is it done? Is it over?
What they told me was to, if I need them again, let the doctor call them, call in a referral, and they'll come back out. They do call me and check on me every once in a while to see how I'm doing and do I need them, anymore right now. I said, no, I'm okay right now. But they said if I ever need them, just get a referral and they'll come right back out to the house and come work with me with the physical and occupational therapy.
How wonderful. Yes. And just somewhat, she said, Gary is watching too. And look here, Miss Jill and Gary, I'm gonna need y'all on my show too.
Okay?
I know. I want you all to know. And you have an invitation, Jill and Gary. And also my first sister. Hello, Katrina, and Rochelle is watching. All right. And then Jill, again, say thank you for the awareness and education, and thank you, Jared. Yes, I thought I thought it would be robbery. Hey, Derek, I thought it would be robbery if I didn't have you on my show, because now we know some of the things to look for, and when we know better, we do better, even as a people. And since it doesn't necessarily have a certain color or a certain gender, just more prominent in women, and now you say younger people as well. So ultimately that is amazing. And then yet you all have another mission to bring awareness about neuromyelitis optical. So look at this. Y'all talk about congestive heart failure, heart transplant. Boom. Now you have NMO. That's what I'm gonna call it. NMO. I keep trying to say that.
That's my daughter. Hey, Monday. Hey, but then she said, "Hey, mommy, dad."
Yeah. So I am again so grateful. I told y'all I wouldn't hold you all long. And they're saying thank you for sharing your story. Again, when people know better, they do better. And so now this is something else that's on people's radar. And I'm again eternally grateful for you all saying yes and coming in and telling your story. And thank you for sharing your story again with Jacksonville. If you all go to
West Jackson,
right, Brooks Rehab, right. Yeah, if you look into that, then he said I'm going to have to look into this. Yes, absolutely. Now people can be like, oh, what is that? What is that? We've never heard it before. Never ever heard of it. So again, thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I love you dearly. And if you need me, call me. You need to get out there and tell somebody else this story. I'll record it and do it for you right here. So whatever you need, and thank you for being at Mayo. We know that they are great doctors. I know you don't have the doctors that we have, but I'm pretty sure they're going to definitely take care of you. Yes. And we just pray that your journey continues and you continue to be spoiled.
Wait, let me tell you what my two sons did. They bought us a bed that lets up and down because I couldn't do nothing. Beauty rest because I couldn't do anything when I came home.
I want one of them
So
too.
it felt like I was still in the hospital, when I had this button, I was pushing it. I still use it, and they have a vibrator on the way you can use the vibrator and everything.
Get a good massage. Go ahead.
And that was DeAndre and Andrew. Andrew's in the Navy right now, but he sent the money home.
Okay.
And then what they did was, while I was in the hospital, they tore out the tub and made it a walk-in shower for me. And Tyrone job also came in and did this, and my sons paid for it, and my kids, they all contribute with money. They gave us all kind of stuff just to help us, and that's how our kids are. They always so helpful. They helped Tyrone when he was going through his journey with the heart transplant, and now they helping me. I'm like, wow.
What a blessing. God bless your children and the grandkids, because I know they love their grandmother and grandfather. So,
I like to say one thing if I got time. Say one thing. I have any time to say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Primarily just for reference, if a family is faced with anything of this magnitude, I think it's important to have a good support network in place, because the family, the kids, the physicians, grandkids, everyone played a role in this process. And also helped a lot was Dee's positive attitude. Her attitude was positive beyond belief through this whole process. And that plays a major part of it also. But having that support group or support network in place, it takes a network of people to get through a process like this. I mean, there's no one individual can do it all. And the family came and really stepped up to the plate and really helped out a lot through the whole process.
Well, they have such good parents. They raised them very well.
Thank you.
Very well. So again, yes, your baby say yes. She's extremely spoiled. Yes, I don't want you to keep spoiling her now, baby girl. Okay? Yeah. So thank you all so much again for taking this time and sharing your testimony again. With the world. And again, Jared said great show. He does a lot of with kidneys, but my platform is for everybody that is dealing with. I mean, this was just like I have to talk about it. Yes. So thank you again.
Now, just in case Jared didn't know, this would shut down all my organs. This disease that I have. It would mess with my kidneys. They watching my livers, my kidney. They watching my heart. They watching my organs, because it would shut me down with this type of disease I have. Just
so
in case it will attack all my organs if they don't watch it. So Mel is watching my organs also.
So how often do you go to appointments?
They make appointments like once a month. And they do blood work, and then they send me to a liver specialist, or there's in Mayo Clinic. Then I seen the kidney specialist. Then I seen I just see different specialists just to keep up with me, just to make sure that I'm not losing.
well primarily organs. What they do all these things that she mentioned, but also is a major part of it that she has to have infusions. Right now. Yeah, pretty much for the
no, these are different infusions. Tell her how.
This is, I guess, some type of enzyme or something that they actually mix in with her blood to help fight this and battle this disease, because it basically holding the disease at bay with the infusion. Without the infusion,
there's Sheikah. Hey, Sheikah.
She's not really done. Because if it subsides, if it rear up again, the outcome might not be as great as it was this time.
Right. Okay. So what he's saying was that I have to sit on the machine for an hour or two with an IV in my arm, and they feed
six
the
hours.
Medication. Oh, 6 hours? 6 hours where they have to feed that medication into my arm, and that's called an infusion. And I just fall asleep, and just like you going through
dialysis.
Yes,
similar,
yes,
yeah,
like a
similar to
dialysis.
antibiotics.
Okay.
And
Wow.
then I did have to have infusion, not infusion, the blood.
It's partial transfusion.
Yeah, partial transfusion. No, it was a transfusion.
Transfusion.
They brought in a blood. They brought in the box, and they actually took my blood and washed it out in the machine. And I asked them what they was doing, and they said, "We actually taking your blood out, and we washing it out, the impurities, and we're gonna put it back in." I had to go through that for a month. So I went through all of this. I had an IV in my neck for about a month, and that was painful. But
Right.
I had to go through it in order to try to live.
Right. And Tyrone knows what that feels like. All of that,
Yes,
all of those,
you do.
those devices and objects in your neck and everything. Because I've definitely seen that in the different ports, that people have. And guys, everyone that's watching, thank you, thank you, thank you. This was a special edition of Transplant Talk with Nyshonda, because this was definitely a different case. This was a special case. And for her to absolutely be so candid and share this information, don't forget you heard it here. Okay, you heard it here on Transplant Talk. And Tyrone, I applaud you. Not too many our caregivers. I know what I did, go and let me find how to do this. Let me find out how to do that. I applaud you. I commend you for staying by your wife and just, taking care of her. Maybe not in, the fashion as she did, but hey, you are there and you're taking care of your wife. So, thank you so much. Men love your wives. Love your wives. Celebrate her and appreciate her. Don't just tolerate her. And just
buy
give her
things.
Yes, and buy her things, whatever she wants. You give her.
No, this is a bad thing.
Well, she can't drive, so she can't ask for a car.
Look, I can't go get nothing.
Right. So
no. I do have. Well, I was in the hospital. I could use just this one little finger.
Yeah, and that one little finger. That's all you need. That's all. That one little finger tell it all.
So I took my phone. And I took my little finger and I was dropping. I was like this,
phone now.
But I was like, I was ordering stuff on Amazon. And when Tyrone go home to check the mailbox, he said, "Did you order something else?" I said, "Yeah, I used this one little finger."
Hey, that one is important. That is important. And there are my parents. Hello, everyone there. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing your story. And the classmate. Also, hello, Danny Joseph. And then hello, Miss. Now, Miss Vernie, you could have almost cried on this one. All right. And now.
She got. All right. She cried. Oh.
Well, she laughing at one. Okay. So, yes, this is definitely a show I would cherish, to know someone that actually has, again, optical neuromyelitis. Neuromyelitis. Okay.
And transfer myelitis also.
Okay, guys. So you all heard it here first on Transplant Talk with Nyshonda. I know she did the interview, but you all didn't hear all of the, the special details and the ins and out, and her spending, a month in the hospital. So again, this is why it's so very important for you to, wash your hands. I don't know about this flu shot. I'm telling you, this is probably why I never got it.
Guess what they told me? I can't never take a flu shot ever again.
No, well, I'm gonna be right there with you. Because
that's what the doctor told me.
I've never taken that flu shot. So I thank you all again so much. I love you much, and I'm gonna close out the show. I'm gonna just look at.
Right.
Verna, no, I'm not crying. I'm not crying. So I'm going to close out the show, and I'll be right back with you all. Thank y'all again so very much.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay. Look, Miss Jill say, I don't take the flu shot either. That's right, Miss Jill.
I can't take it.
Okay. All right. Hold on. All right. So again, guys, thank you all so much for being a part of the show. Don't forget to share. This page definitely was a special edition of Transplant Talk with Nyshonda. I'm just trying to keep you educated, keep you informed, and keep you aware. Don't forget to Yes, Dad. Y'all was late, Dad. I don't know what was going on. Maybe y'all doing something else. All right. So please like, share. Don't forget to subscribe to Transplant Talk with Nashana. We're trying to build a huge community on YouTube. All right. God bless you all. See you next week. And my special guest already is from the West Coast. We're going to Oregon. I think it's Oregon. Anyway, all right. You all have a good night. Next week, 7:00. God bless you all. Good night. Boom, boom.